So I'm going to talk about the need of science diplomacy in South Asia, and it's pleasure to be to be part of this working group, and also uh, this wonderful effort to promote the science diplomacy in South Asia. I'm happy that there is a very good number of participants are here that are going to join this session, and I don't know. I can check the questions or not, but maybe later on in later part I can check the question. But there were a few questions in my mind, and I was very hopeful that if I ask the question to you, that whether you would like to come to any institute in Pakistan, how many from India or Bangladesh or Nepal would like to come here in Pakistan, and similarly, it's vice versa. I would like to ask the questions that how many from Pakistan or from Nepal or from Sri Lanka would like to go to the Indian institutes. It was a wonderful opportunity for me to travel across the world in different regions, in different countries, to know the culture and to have the interaction with the scientists, the senior scientists, and the junior scientists in the world. And but I couldn't get the opportunity to travel to any other South Asian countries. So in future, through this science diplomacy effort, I'll be very happy to travel to our South Asian countries like in India, in Nepal, in Sri Lanka, in Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, and Afghanistan. So hopefully it will create more opportunities so we can come together and work together in future on our issues and challenges. So this is the South Asian region. This is, I'm sure that you have learned during these sessions that this is very small part. If we see in the land mass, it's very small. It's just 4% of the land mass, but it has a huge population. We are the very populous part of the world with 24% of the world population. So we have a huge portion of the population, and the much population we have and the much younger population we have a lot of opportunities as well, and we can create the future world as per our desires, that how much and how better we want to see our countries and our part of the world, whether we want to see the same conflicts that are going on, or we want to see there is a prosperous region with more opportunity. This is a beautiful, if we go into the history, this is a beautiful land. I must say that this is the region, like if we talk about the subcontinent region, this is a region which never invaded any other region in the world. If we even go back into the history, it was always a rich part of the world with good agriculture, with good civilizations, who stayed there, who invited the people to come there to have like more investment in this part of the world. But this region of the world, they never invaded any other region of the world. So this is the rich history we have, and this was how peaceful this region was. And this is, we should also think that we have to bring it more peace in this region of the world as well. So I often talk about the innovations in the countries, and unfortunately, this is the list back in 2017 by the World Economic Forum, but unfortunately, our South Asian region are not even the top 50 most innovative countries of the world. Briefly, because there are a number of young scientists and number of young researchers are part of this forum, the innovation is calculated on so many parameters, more than 80 parameters, like how better education system they have, how better human development they have, how best infrastructure they have in their countries, the internet, the banking, and so on. So all these parameters, they are taken into consideration, and then they go for the innovative ranking of these countries. Unfortunately, our region, the South Asian countries, they are not even among the top 50 most innovative. So here is the list of the top 10 innovative countries, and you can see over here is mainly the European countries and United States and UK, and Singapore is there from Asia, and sometimes South Korea is there, Japan is there, but the South Asian countries, they are not in the innovative countries. So here is the list of the recent list of the countries of our South Asian countries and their innovative ranking. This is back in, like if we talk about the ranking in 2019, I'm going to list the 2019. So you can see Pakistan is among the 100, around 30 countries. They were ranked according to Global Innovation Index report in 2019. And recently they have released the 2020 report as well. And Pakistan like is now at 107 position. It was 105 position in 2019. So if we talk about the ranking of our countries in 2019, it was like Pakistan was at 105th position. Bangladesh was at 116 position, Nepal 109 position, Bhutan is still not considered in the list because they haven't provided the information. Sri Lanka is better than the other countries, is at 89 position. Maldives, still they don't have the data from there. India is improving because India was at 63 position in 2018, 2019 it was 52 position, and in 2020 it's at 50th position. So now India is in top 50 innovative countries. So that's a really good thing that some of the Asian countries, they are improving. India is constantly improving in Global Innovation Index. And I think there is a major role from the Indian universities, especially Indian Institute of Technology. Dr. Mahesh is there. So they have, I had a discussion last year, I think 2 years back when we were in Malaysia, and we have very good discussion that how Indian Institute of Technologies and Indian universities are contributing towards innovation in the region. So India is improving. If we even compare the other regions, regional countries like Iran is at good position at 61st position, Turkey is at 49th position, and Malaysia is at 35th position. So this is the ranking of innovation of the South Asian countries. So what issues we are facing? There are a number of issues that my presentation was mainly focusing on the issues and challenges that we are facing in South Asian countries and how we can improve through the science diplomacy program. So what major issues we are facing? There are a number of issues. I have listed only very few. I will talk about very few issues. One of the major issue we face in the South Asian countries is the literacy. The literacy rate is not very high as compared to like if we compare with the European countries or with the developed world. Then even Pakistan, I can give you the example that Pakistan, the literacy rate currently in Pakistan is 60%. That is not a big, so we have a huge challenge. Around 25 million children are still out of school. So we also have to bring this much number of children back to the school. Similarly, there are like Indian literacy rate is at 74%. So they also have to improve. Bangladesh has similar challenges. The literacy rate of Sri Lanka is good. So we can learn a lot from Sri Lanka in terms of literacy. But the challenge on, if we talk about the Sri Lankan, then I often discuss with our colleague from Sri Lanka, and they mentioned that the quality of education is not that good. So our region is not only facing the problem of literacy on one side, on the other side, we are facing problem of quality education. So we also, on the overall, we have to improve the quality of education as well. What I have listed, these are some of the challenges, and one of the challenges is that's really not giving a good impression of our South Asian countries. The title here is the 7 of the top 10 polluted cities in the world are in India. So the list is often changing, but overall, when we see the list of the cities which have the most pollution, is mostly the list is coming from Indian and Pakistan and Bangladesh. So this is the challenge that we are facing, and this is really a big challenge. If we talk about the pollution, it's a really big challenge. Challenge in a sense that it affects the health very badly. I was going through a report from that was published from a very good university, and according to that report, the life of the people in India and Pakistan and Bangladesh is 4 years less only because of heavy pollution in the air. So this is affecting our lives as well. The life expectancy is reduced. We are suffering from a number of diseases, the heart diseases, the cardiovascular diseases, and the brain disorder only because of the heavy pollution. So this is a common challenge for the region that we also have to solve, and how we can solve this we'll discuss in some time. In addition, if we talk about the most polluted country, this is just a snapshot that can give you an impression of the countries with the most pollution in the world. And once again, if we see our South Asian region, then we are the countries having the most pollution in the world. So if this is not only the air pollution, this is not only the land pollution, this is also the water pollution. And if we are not breathing good air, if we are not drinking good quality water, then our health will be compromised, our agriculture will be compromised, our veterinary side, the animal side, they will be suffering from this. So our land is suffering, our animals are suffering, our humans suffering. This is a common big challenge that we are facing, and we should work together to solve these issues. So this is just these are some of the issues. Another challenge that we will be facing in the future is the water stress. And this is the expectation in 2040, that which countries of the world which have more water stress. Although this region is like, we have wonderful rivers, we have the big rivers, we have the glaciers in the northern part, the Himalaya mountains, that the Krakram mountain are there. They have like, it's a full of snowfall, and it's full of glaciers, and there is a lot of good water that we can harvest, but still our countries will face the water stress. And if we will not work together, we will have strong challenges in the form of like water stress that will be coming in the future. And how we can solve this? Through the innovative effort, through the collaborative effort that we can make together. So these are, as I have listed, some major challenges of the South Asian region, and you know the challenges that we are facing is the regional conflicts. We have often like inflamed relations sometimes, like especially between India and Pakistan. The dispute, like the Kashmir dispute, is there. We have big wars between the two countries. So regional conflict is sometimes there is a conflict between Nepal and India, Bangladesh and India, and so on. So these regional conflicts, that's a huge problem for all of us. I must say that the relations were like, if we talk about the scientific collaborations and relations, they were even better between India and Pakistan before the 1965 war, because the scientists from Pakistan, they were visiting India. The scientists from India, they were visiting Pakistan before that. Just I can give you one example, that our Nobel laureate, Professor Abdul Salam, he was visiting India in 1960, and he was invited by Professor Raman Krishnan to give the talks in different universities of India. And that was a good scientific exchange. And after the wars like the first war between India and Pakistan in 1965, these relations were distorted, and there was even less and less science diplomacy and scientific collaboration between the two countries. So regional conflicts are one of the challenges that we're facing. And in addition, there is no dedicated body to promote like the science diplomacy. There is no science diplomacy program, just like there were hostile relations, as you must have learned during the presentation, that there were hostile relations between USA and Cuba, but they have the scientific collaboration between two countries, they were going on. There were like harsh relations between USA and USSR, but still they were exchanging information on the like space programs and many other programs. So these are the challenges that they promoted the science diplomacy, and similarly we should have a science diplomacy program. In addition, there is a like much less institutional linkages between. You can't see a good institutional. I'm sure that they have shared one of the photograph that I will also show you about one of the parameters is to know the linkages between the institute, is the number of publications, the number of joint publications. They are the least from the region, and we can promote those collaborations through, like, if there is institutional linkages, we can work on these problems. As I mentioned, like we have huge environmental issue problem, we have agriculture problem, and so many other problems, and we can solve those through the institutional linkages. Our university, there are like, I think more than 2,000 universities now in India. There are more than 200 universities in Pakistan. There are so much research is going on, but there is less collaboration that we can promote the collaboration. In addition, our part of the world is the developing world. So we are facing a problem of poverty. We have a low human development index. We are facing like a lot of human development index challenges. Law and order situation is not that good, and many other like international indexes, they are there. We can check the parameters, and there is a lot of data available on that. In addition, to promote the like science diplomacy and joint program, there is also need to promote the financial assistance for these program, and we should promote these financial assistance for each other, and we should have like dedicated program, and we can pour the money for those programs, so we can promote the linkages between the two countries. Opportunities are huge between these countries. Like we have the shared history, as you mentioned in the very start, because this was the same region. We were working together in the same region. We have a shared culture. I mentioned in the very start that I've been around the world, and like wherever we go, we often see the people from whom we can talk, we can go out for the similar food. Just like I mentioned that 2 years ago, myself and Dr. Mahesh, the president of Indian Young Academy, we were together in Malaysia, and we were happy that we can exchange with each other in the similar language. We can go for the similar food and so on. So this is the good thing, that we have a shared history and we have a shared culture. And in addition, as he mentioned in the very start, that we have a huge population in this part of the world. And so this is 24% of the population. So we have a huge market. Whatever we will develop here in this region of the world, we have a huge market, and we can sell that. So this is a good opportunity for all of us. Like, even if coronavirus is a problem now, if like India could develop, or Pakistan could develop, or Bangladesh could develop some vaccine, we can have a huge local market. We can immediately capture this market. So this is the same region. All the countries are located together, sharing the borders with each other. So there is a lot of potential to have similar programs. In addition, this part of the world now has the highest economic growth. Like, the Bangladesh growth is amazing recently. Indian growth is quite high. Pakistan growth is quite good, and other countries in the region also have a good highest economic growth. So this is a good, like, for all these countries, the economic growth is good, and this is how they should also come together, like, not focusing on the conflicts, but focusing on the collaboration, so we can develop better relations with each other. In addition, we have knowledge-based institution. There are so many centers for excellence in Pakistan. There are so many centers for excellence in India and Bangladesh and Nepal and Sri Lanka and so on. So we have very good institution. There is only need to focus that we can work on knowledge-based economy. Knowledge-based economy is very important. This is the era of knowledge. This is those countries who are putting more effort on the knowledge and knowledge-based economy. They are the leading countries of the world. I can give you like a quick example. For example, Pakistan's total export is around 20 billion US dollars, and Pakistan import is around 45 billion US dollars. Pakistan is a population of 220 million, so we have a huge population. If we compare with Singapore, for example, Singapore is a very small country with a population of 5.5 million. It's a very small country. We often go to the Singapore, and the total export of Singapore is 520 billion US dollars. So it's more 500 billion US dollar more than Pakistan. How? Only because of knowledge-based economy. So even like hepatitis is a big problem in our part of the world. The drug used to treat hepatitis C, Epclusa, Gilead Science from United States, they sold that drug like in 18 billion US dollar in a single year. And if we can develop something similar in this region, we can save a lot of money, and there is like huge growth for these kind of businesses. So there are a lot of good knowledge-based institutions. There is only need to work together. That institutes, they share their expertise with each other. And we are the region that is also rich in innovation. A lot of innovation were done earlier. If we go through the history, we have number of very good mathematicians. We have made development in medicines and many other in agriculture and so on. So our history is good in innovation, but due to conflicts and poor management and corruption in this part of the world, we are facing a lot of problems, and we can solve these problems through these kind of opportunities. So what we should do, we should collaborate with each other, and we should promote the collaboration in the region. How we can do that? I can share you one example. I was in United States back in 2008. I was in California, and one of the school in those days, they used to have free meal for those people. That was once in a week for those people who speak similar language. So whenever like I was there, so I used to go, I think that was on Tuesday, there was a language day of Hindi and Urdu. So we used to go there in that cafeteria, and there was a free food, so that we can sit together and we can talk to each other. And these kind of interaction that really promoted the interaction between like researchers from Pakistan and from Bangladesh and from India. I was the only person in that institute that was from Pakistan. There were around 50 from India, and there were few from Bangladesh and so on. So that kind of interaction had like led us to talk about our problems and how we can solve those problems and to promote the collaboration. So similar things somehow we have to start in Pakistan. I must say that like I've been to several institutes, and what I have seen over there, that wherever we go, like in United States or in Europe, we always have very good interaction between the researchers. Like if I'm from Pakistan, from India, from Bangladesh, from Nepal, and so on. So we always like sit together because we share region, we share languages, so we can often talk to each other, we can share our problems, we can have a lot of opportunities together. So this is what we do there, like when we are in United States or when we are in Europe. But when we come back to our countries, that is diminished. So we like if I talk here in Pakistan, and if I'm going to start some collaboration in India, that's not that feasible as compared we can do in Europe and in United States. So I think we should take some initiatives, and this is an excellent initiative to promote these kind of collaboration that we can have. And another thing is like I think my time is already I have used my time. So collaboration, this is the collaborative publication between the South Asian countries. I'm sure that you have seen this diagram before as well. But overall, what I have, you can check through the SciMago website. There is very least collaboration between the South Asian countries. They have more collaboration between Europe. They have more collaboration between China. They have more collaboration between United States and India, and Europe and India, and UK and India, and UK and Pakistan, and so on. But we have very least collaboration in the region that we should promote. And my proposal, I even wrote to the SOC Science for, the SOC was established in 1985 to promote the collaboration in the region. That is a wonderful forum. They have done a lot of work. There is only need to improve this kind of work. So we should work. We can give the suggestion of establishing the SOC Science Forum, so we can have better collaboration between our countries. I also presented a poster presentation about the need for science diplomacy in South Asian region, the issues and challenges. And this I presented in Malta last year. And the similar kind of discussion we had that our region, just like the Europe, they have the similar institute like the European Molecular Biology Laboratory and many other institutes. They are the common between the European. Once they were even fighting with each other, and now they have the same institute. They collaborate. They share the resources. Similarly, this is what we have to learn eventually. That we also have to establish similar institute, just like there are institutes in Europe. Once they were fighting, now they have learned that they have to work together. Now we are fighting, now we have hostile relation, now we have warm relation with each other. But in future, in the long run, we also will learn that we have to work together for our population. And this is how we can eradicate poverty, we can improve the literacy, we can improve the quality of education, we can solve our environmental problem. I'm very much thankful to our working group, the South Asian Science Diplomacy Group, who has done this wonderful work of bringing the researchers from all these countries together to think about these problems, and Global Young Academy for providing us the platform at the global level so we can work together on our similar issues. And thank you very much for once again, for all the team members, Dr. Modi, Dr. Almaz, Dr. Wahaj, my friends like Dr. Mahesh, and many other colleagues who are working for this kind of collaboration to promote the linkages between these countries. And I'm very confident. I mentioned in the inaugural session that this kind of initiative will definitely bring the younger researchers together on a similar platform, and we will work together just like we are working together now to bring this workshop. We will work together to promote linkages and collaboration in the region. Thank you very much.